So for me, climate change is a global issue that affects everyone. Even if I don't feel it every day, it's a big concern because I worry about the long-term effects it could have on our lives and future generations.
To me, it means less chance for the current generations and future generations to live healthy and peaceful lives.
Actually, it's a big deal. I feel like it's something we all should care about more.
Climate change to me means long-term shifts in temperature and weather conditions, largely caused by human activities such as fossil fuel consumption.
Is that climate change feels personal, as it's a reminder of how interconnected we are with the planet. It's also a concern I think about often, especially when making choices like how I travel or consume resources.
Climate change feels like a growing challenge that's affecting our health, environment, and future, and it's hard not to worry about its impact.
A threat that I've been reading about, hearing about, but it's not something I would say that I've seen by my own eyes.
I see significant difference in the weather in Egypt. It became more and more hot and the winter is becoming more and more short.
Yes, I definitely do. Summer is way hotter, and now we're in December, and it's not as cold as it used to be.
More sea levels are getting higher.
Actually, I have noticed how unpredictable the weather has become.
Yes, so in Egypt currently, like the last 2-3 years, we noticed that the summer is very hot, while the winter is beginning to be colder than the usual. It was not that cold in usual.
I'm noticing local changes like hotter summers and more unpredictable rain patterns, and it feels like the seasons are shifting.
And you no longer feel that there is spring or fall in between the seasons.
Yes, I have noticed hotter summers and shorter, unpredictable winters locally, which make me wonder about the connection to global climate shifts.
I have personally noticed changes in Egypt with the weather especially. Temperatures are reaching all-time highs, not just in Egypt but also globally.
It feels like nature is out of balance.
I try to reduce my usage of plastic materials as much as I can, using the tote bags, not getting the plastic bags in the supermarkets or any kind of shop that I enter or buy stuff from. I try to carpool whenever possible.
Yes, of course, I tried doing multiple things, and now I stopped using plastic water bottles, and I actually use now stainless water flasks.
In my daily life, I use, for example, I don't use plastic water bottle. I use metal water bottle, like reusable one. In my company, I started something called recycling, so I have the recycling bin, and
I try to recycle regularly, use less energy at home, and avoid single-use plastics to do my part, even if it's pretty small.
I don't really take a lot of action to reduce my carbon footprint, although I would like to change that. The only thing I try to do is I try to recycle. I avoid using plastic as much as possible, and I avoid using straws and things that are in my day-to-day.
I have started cutting back on plastic and being more mindful about what I throw away.
No, I think they are putting all the responsibility on the individuals that do not own any kind of business, while they are the ones producing the most carbon emissions on the planet.
So regarding my actions, I try to reduce my carbon footprint by recycling, saving energy whenever I can, and cutting down on waste.
Instead of using plastic water bottles, I try to use recycled items. Even if I use cans or plastic bottles, I try to get rid of them in the recycling area.
Actually, the only thing I did in this is buying an electric car. Maybe benzene cars increase the carbon dioxide combustion.
Yes, I try to reduce my carbon footprint by conserving energy or using eco-friendly products or practices.
Actually, Egypt is trying to make the biggest solar farm in the world in the Sahara Desert, and I think this will impact a lot the fuel consumption, and also they are, I think, the second biggest wind turbine farm in Africa, and they are aiming to be the first one. And I think these are the things that will really make an impact towards climate change. For the corporates, I don't see it impactful, the things with straws and paper cups. I think this represents less than 1% of the impact on the climate changes. So I think this is nonsense.
I truly believe governments and major companies don't do their best to help climate change or do their part for sustainability. I truly believe that they have the biggest impact on what's happening in our environment.
Honestly, I don't think governments and businesses are doing enough. There is a lot of talk, but real changes feels too slow, especially when it comes to moving away from fossil fuels and implementing stronger climate policies.
My business, yes, so my company is doing a lot to prevent this. We're doing extra measure as we believe sustainability is one of our goals.
Actually, not at all. They need to stop making excuses and actually do something impactful.
Governments and companies are trying to follow their sustainability KPIs, but I don't think they're doing enough yet. Maybe a big part is try to educate the people around them and making everyone more aware.
Impose legal actions on corporations and businesses that don't reduce their carbon emissions. Ensure these legal actions are adhered to and implemented fairly.
I don't think governments and companies are doing enough at all, because they are always pushing the narrative that it's the duty of the everyday citizen that they handle climate change, while it's actually the big corporations and the big fuel companies and the coal companies and the companies that have to do with energy that are the main cause of climate change. So no matter how much I do or any citizen who does, it doesn't make any sense.
I believe the government can enforce to the local shops and to supermarkets to use reusable bags, to make it as a government decision and not just an optional way to the customers.
I believe they started to contribute to mitigate this issue. However, we need more actions, we need more efforts. Till now, we still have many problems, and I think the climate is not as we expecting to be.
I feel that governments and businesses are making progress, but it's not enough, or it's not enough urgent. I think collective action is still missing on a larger scale.
I would push for a global shift to renewable energy sources. It's clean, sustainable, and would reduce a huge chunk of emissions.
Be more self-aware on what I can do to help. I believe I can be way more informed on the topic, and I can find out things that I can do that can help based on my ability.
I would make clear punishments to anyone who violate anything that could damage our climate. Also, I'd make all meetings, global meetings, UN meetings, every initiative toward this issue to be real and to conclude with clear action steps, because at the end of the day, I see nothing after all these meetings.
To be a more active advocate on social media about it, and that I would stop using my car and gas as much as possible.
If I could, I would push for a global transition to renewable energy to reduce emissions and create a sustainable future for everyone.
I focus on the reforestation. It's a natural way to combat the problem and helps so much.
We as a country, we should invest more and more in renewable energy and use less the fossil fuels.